Now, let's do the next part of our use case, which is some development, so to speak. So let's do that. The first thing I would like to change is, let's say that I want to change this transformation logic. This is ordered by, let's add a sending right there, just to kind of implement a change, so to speak. So we'll save that. And let's actually do a couple more extra changes if that's a requirement. Let's see if data quality rule can also be changed. So here within data quality, I'm going to change my subtotal limit. So it's around 9,000 at this point. Let's convert that to 9,200. Let's save right here as well. In fact, of course, I want to illustrate that as an end user, once these test cases are present, you can just run them within your existing systems as well. So everything is running as expected. Nothing has really been altered from that perspective. But apart from that, what I also want to do is quickly add another test case. This is to illustrate that you can, of course, will add new test cases based on the new updates and transformations that you'll be working with. While I can create a test case, I'm just going to do a quick import. And this is to illustrate that if you're working with test cases and you want to use them across systems, while Git is one way to do it, we had an older traditional method as well, which is importing and exporting. Now, this has its own use cases as well in terms of programmatically generating test cases and a lot of other use cases and systems. In our system, I've already exported an existing test case. I'm just going to directly import it. All right. And let's import it with our existing system itself. I'm just going to quickly rename it, as it's not a generative AI showcase. This is a staging to Mart test case. All right, now we click next. Everything is already in sync, so our test case should be imported directly, and I can even view it within my system as expected. There we go. Now we have a test case that has been added and a test case that has been updated. Both of our use cases are right here. And in fact, you can also see that our systems are working as intended. So all the test cases will, of course, work right out of the gate. That's the key aspect of reusability within systems. Now, there's one other thing I'm going to change. Again, this is to illustrate that if there are any changes in the development branch or the QA branch, I can make sure we can work with them in sync. So if I go ahead and change this corresponding connection, so if I add a new user, if I change my password, like there you go, I change my password. Now, once again, what I can do is either go back to my system and make sure everything is in sync. And again, this all implies on which particular branch you would sync from. So obviously there's going to be some differences. One of them is going to override the other. And this depends on what you would like to override. So in this case, the QA branch will override the dev branch. You can do the other way around as well, where you can have the dev branch sources override the QA branch, depending on your use cases. So here you see, we have just synced once again. So now if there were any changes introduced during the development process, we are in good hands on that particular front.
For further questions, feel free to reach contact@datagaps.com. Request a free demo, scan the QR code below. Thank you.